A lot of people loved Shrek because it featured a comic riff of Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy. What a lot of people don't know is that the Shrek was originally going to be part of a 5-film series. The film's direction took a strange turn to Shrek the Fur as released actor Mike Myers reportedly claiming that he had to voice the big green over again. He quote fucking kill himself. The arduous process of making the masterful Shrek films has led to a huge call online following people who demand a 4th Shrek film. Ever for DreamWorks, I was a dog grip on both Shrek films. One day I heard actor John Leguizamo discuss his part of the Shrek Raptor feature when the production manager immediately told him to leave angrily, never to mention the 4th Shrek film again. Well, I mentioned something in the office one night when everyone else was asleep under the guise that I had forgotten my prized Lord Farquaad mug. Little did I know that I was about to discover something that would completely destroy the Shrek mythology, possibly explain apocalyptic theories related to Shrek that are swimming around the internet. The DVD had Shrek forward a Sharpie marker, a picture of Shrek and a permanent frown. Shrek looked really disappointed. He was staring at his screen and he had dark circles under his eyes. The DVD itself was a CDRW with an onion with a smiley face on it that said, "For just small D." One of those D mouth smiley faces. I think Jeff was one of the higher ups of DreamWorks, if not the CFO. I knew I was risking the job, but I sold the DVD in place of a Family Guy DVD, expecting to get some heat from my boss in the morning. I smashed the security camera on the way out and went home. It turned out this disc was a original Blu-ray for a straight-to-DVD copy of Shrek. I put the disc into the DVD player and it started. The intro was bizarre. It looked like a bunch of hairs were hanging from trees, and there was just the sound of someone screaming, "Oh my god," over and over again. The next part is really fucked up. We see the house that Shrek lives in, but it seems to semble more like hell. Shrek looks really nervous and his eyes were more glossy and realistic. I'm guessing this wasn't finished, but Shrek looked a lot cheaper. The backdrops were more grainier, and there were what looked like human hands sticking out from the ground. "Time to water the hands," said Shrek. He walks outside, takes his piss on some hands. It was disturbing. I didn't want to watch Shrek pissing on hands. You could even see his green penis. I could distinctly tell it was Mike Myers, the actor who portrayed Shrek, doing the voice of him. What was the most stirring part, however, was that his voice sounded a lot raspier and sad. He sounded like he was playing an sad old Irish man with cancer. He walked over to the donkey, who was not voiced by Eddie Murphy, the actor who originally portrayed him. Said he sounded like an angry German man. "Shrek, we need to go to the castle to stop the dragon," he yelled. He was standing on his hind legs, and there was clearly a swastika on his forehead. "I'm making waffles," Donkey yelled, making a gingerbread man to the background. You can see the gingerbread man crying and bleeding. Highly realistic core likes of which DreamWorks can never produce on its own. I had been a fan of the film as it reached my demographic. Oh, where was I? Right. As attended by the CEO of DreamWorks. But I don't know. I don't see how anyone could enjoy this. Everything just seemed sad and dead. Donkey walked to the end of a cliff and you could see a visible noose around his neck. "You see, Donkey? People are like onions, and onions have layers." Shrek started talking abruptly. He took a CG onion out and shut his cock in it. You hear someone snickering rather loudly to the sound of silverware falling in the background. Shrek took that same knife he used to peel the onion and started to peel his own skin off. He peeled layer after layer of skin off until he was just a blue CGI skeleton with a picture of Mike Myers' real head taped on a post-production artifact. It wasn't even a scary picture of Myers, just him playing the love guru with someone having to draw a dick on his head. I planned to turn the DVD off, but I knew for the love of God that was going to ruin my image of the wonderful ogre and his little acquaintances. A scene immediately cuts to Shrek fucking the wall of his house while an entire gingerbread family cried. I took the DVD out of the player. I had had enough. This was too scary for me. All of a sudden, the DVD started talking in a robotic voice. "Please return me to my owner." A physical tear poured down Shrek's eye on the front of the case. I tasted it and it was salty. I opened the case to check for apparatus where liquid would pour out, and I could find none. It was almost like some sort of magic demonic possession or real life medical DVD. All of a sudden, the DVD started to scream, People are like onions. I could smell onions all of a sudden. Like one of those old scratch and sniff cards, threw the DVD in the garbage can, lit the garbage on fire. My sprinkler system went off as the DVD exploded, sending flaming hot plastic into my eyes and burning my chest, nipple hair. My cat got stinged and squealed at me, started to claw my eyes out while the sprinkler system hit electrical currents and exploded, burning away my kitchen ottoman. I could hear the DVD laughing at me. I woke up in the hospital again. Turns out people are like onions. The doctors extracted several whole Vidalia onions from my chest cavity during a surgical operation that took really 16 hours. I call it a medical miracle, stating that I had 3 days left to live. Well, you can imagine how I spent those 3 days. Day 1. Make this right up so that the internet will remember this horrible tale. Day 2. Visit the world's largest McDonald's and order some mixed spaghetti. Day 3. March straight into the New York's Animation SKG building and demand to know the meaning of this godforsaken tape. I stormed in, slammed the DVD on the counter. What the fuck is this shit? I yelled. To a man behind his chair. The chair turned around, revealing Mike Myers. He looked horrible. He had gained roughly 200 pounds and his skin had turned green due to leprosy. I wonder what had happened to him after the Love Guru. He had warts and scars all over his body, and he was exactly like Shrek. You see, Mark, he said to me, people are like onions. I began to shudder. And onions have layers. He took out a potato peeler and lunged at me. I took out the DVDs, he stepped the potato peeler, he stepped the DVD case. Source of his power, probably. Mike Myers exploded onions, and I was fired. But it's okay, because I was immediately detained by the United States government and exported to Ireland. Several men had painted me green and forced me to live in a large, genetically modified onion cart of a donkey. They forced me to bathe in mud and plow the fields for Vidalia onions on a daily basis after about a month. A Hispanic man in a leopard print leotard came holding a video camera. He was filming me and snickering. Other smaller Hispanic boys were gingerbread men and plastic fairies at me while I attempted to put in an honest day's work. I suddenly beat down my disheveled faces lay there in the mud, naked, bleeding and cold. When I woke up, I was laying on some strange flower-shaped floor. As I looked up and noticed that many foods out in the fields were being spread over my green, naked body. Oh my god, tomatoes, beans, and sour cream, while the Mexican pool boys threw Tex-Mex cheese into my hateful wounds. I was being rolled into a tortilla. Oh my god! I screamed. I tried to awaken from this horrible nightmare, but it wasn't a nightmare. It was reality. Except more real. Somehow like the real reality. And the actual reality is post-reality that comes out of the pre-reality. I poured some hot beef sauce into my body. Oh my god, I don't want to be the meat in this tortilla, I screamed. A familiar voice began to speak to me, while my eyes were filled with spicy lime sauce. No, Mark, you're the onions. And onions, my heart skipped a beat, have layers. As they peeled me like a ripe guava, I came to a deep realization about what onions were a metaphor of. See, underneath everything, we're not deep. Intellectual human beings are not special either. They were expecting to lie to us as children. They wanted our money, so they sold us as a lie. We're not even unique in style and taste. There is nothing that is any different from the rest of us. Underneath everything, we're just skeletons. Go up to your neighbors and greet them with skeletons. Recognize them for the true skeleton inside, because one day you might be that skeleton. In fact, you are already that skeleton. As the end credits on my existence played, I noticed that the executive producer was Satan. I become more concerned about who the director was. In fact, I would have sent a shiver up my spine if the pool boys hadn't broken it. It was me.